That's right, folks. That was Dragon's Breath. Why? Because No Skill Required Javier is doing depth profile on this guy. Let's do it. First up is our starter, running Spark Kid Dragoon. You all know what he does. You ride him, get the quick shield. There you go. Moving on to the Grade 3s. We are running in this deck 4 copies of Jagged Shot Dragoon. Very valuable card in this deck. You swing, bind a card, bind your opponent's card, boom. If they got no field, you can draw one, and then you can draw another one by pushing him into Soul if your Vanquisher is Vanguard. Very, very nice for the draw for no reason. The other Grade 3s, we are running 4 copies of the OG Vanquisher. Very good card, I think. I like it. Basically, just counterblast 1 if you already have a Grade 3 in the Soul. Your opponent binds a front row unit, and then you each get to bind a card from your hand, maxing the plus 10k to the front row ability. And then the card that fixes this entire deck, 4 copies of the new Vanquisher. Very good card. Basically, this is his skill. This unit is regarded as Vanquisher. When he's placed, all your front row units automatically get the plus 10k. So that helps out if you're stuck riding him initially. And then the skill that matters is when bound from hand during your turn, if your Vanguard is Dragonic Vanquisher, discard a card from your hand, ride this card as stand, and this unit gets -1 drive check until end of turn. During that turn's end phase, you cannot get Imaginary Gift Excel, and at the end of that turn, ride a Grade 3 from your Soul as rest. This ability may only be used by a card with the same card name once a turn. So, basically, either OG Vanquisher or himself, you'll swing, do your shenanigans, you got Rock Climb or V-Shred, whichever, you bind him. And then, as soon as that happens, you're going to drop a card. And then, ride, Excel marker, draw a card. So, you do, in a way, break even with this skill. But the fact that you're able to give front row plus 10k, and then swing again. So, you really can't complain a whole lot. Moving on to Grade 2s. The obvious staple. 4 copies of Chatura. Very good card. When bound, he comes back onto field, but has to be bound from hand. Gains plus 10k, and then if the attack does hit the Vanguard, you can counterblast 1, I believe, or I'm sorry, not counterblast. You soul blast 1. You draw a free card, bind to one of your opponent's front row rear guards, and then when that happens, you get to draw a card. So it ties in with the rest of the deck, but he's really a huge beater. Very, very good staple in the deck. The other Grade 2 is the new one, Rock Climb. Very valuable card. It works like V-Shred, but it goes off in a better way because it clears that open spot for you to put something else that you already bound onto that area. The skill is only as rearguard. At the end of the battle that it attacked, if your Vanguard is Vanquisher, you're going to retire this unit, draw a card, bind a card from your hand, choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards, and bind it. So you can easily multi-attack with this card, and it will tie in with the new Vanquisher at that time. Very, very good card. I like him. And then the last card for the Grade 2 lineup, I'm running 3 copies of V-Shred. V-Shred's good. You could tech in like a martial arts dragon or a cholo or a voltage, whatever have you. But for me personally, being able to get the other additional draw off of him, and then being able to use him in conjunction with Rock Climb, it works. It gives you another option to use. I mean, you can also use use Jaggy Shots to also bind, because you have to bind from your hand. Bind from your hand, and then Rock Climb, bind from your hand. So you have multiple ways to get the new Vanquisher to go off. So, with that being said, moving on to grade 1s. We are running 4 copies of Mighty Bolt. Gains plus 5k when something is bound, and when he is either Vanguard or Rear Guard. When placed, search the top 5 for a grade 3, add it to your hand, and then just drop any card. Usually, you'll drop a card that you don't need. Usually, Rising Phoenix, because that's how this deck works. The other grade 1s we are running Chainbolt Dragoon. Grade 1 AK, new card. I don't know how to put it. It's only rode upon Vanguard Circle. You can search the top 7 for any Vanquisher. Add it to your hand, and then you just shuffle your deck. So you can easily mill the top of your deck to get the Vanquisher. It shouldn't be that hard. It really shouldn't. And then the second effect is, if it's bound from hand, you can bring him back to field. So he could be a AK booster, or just work in with the rest of the multi-attack that this deck has. And then lastly, running 2 Rising Phoenixes. When your opponent's rear guard is bound, you bring him back from the drop zone. Plus 3k makes him 11k booster, or you put him on a Excel marker. And then obviously Vanguard should be in the Vanguard. Front row has plus 10k. You make him a 26k beater. So that works also. And then lastly, moving on to triggers. We are running 4 heal. And then we are running 6 crit. 4 of the perfect guard draw trigger. And then 2 more draws. So the trigger lineup is 4 heals, 6 crit, 6 draw. A lot of players are honestly doing rainbow triggers. Once again, that's all subjective. It depends on the player and their personal play style. If they want to go for a rush, if they want to go more of a control-based, slow pace run of the deck. Like I said, the deck is very subjective when it comes to the grade 2s and grade 1s. And then also the triggers. So, I mean, who knows? You can run nothing but stands and draws and still bank on high pressure. So, there you go. That is the deck profile. And take it easy, guys.